If someone gave you $70, would you be shocked? Americans spend money every day, and in big box retailers and in local communities. So how do you spend your money? I feel I'm qualified today to speak to you about this because I co-own a local business, and I also have done extensive research on how buying locally keeps money in the community. I'll persuade you tonight that you should spend your money, not all your money, but you should change a little bit and spend about 10% of what you spend in big box retailers in local businesses. Buying local boosts the local economy. It is better for the environment, and it also creates jobs. I'll explain these three things to you today. First, I'll tell you about how buying locally boosts the economy. According to Michael Sherman, author of Going Local, he stated that for every $100 that is spent in local businesses, $68 of that stays in the local economy. In contrast, with the $100 spent in big box retailers, only $43 of that is spent locally, stays in the local economy. A study by New Economic Foundation, an independent economic think tank based in London, they did a research, or they compared it to money to blood, whereas money that is spent in local businesses circulates throughout the community and it keeps the economy growing and functioning. Whereas whenever it is spent in big box retailers, it is like an open wound and the money is flowing out of the community. Spending money with local farmers is also good for the environment. Farmers play a major role in protecting our environment. When you purchase from a big box retailer, your produce has already been on a long journey. It has probably traveled 1,500 miles on average and was picked between 4 and 7 days ago. And that's just if it was grown in the United States. If it was grown out of in another country, then those numbers could grow extensively greater. And that was according to localharvest.com with those numbers. With these facts, transportation is needed to move all this produce around the world. And according to elocal.com, 42% of the merchandise that the United States purchases is moved by sea, and 23% is moved by air. And of all the travel that is used to get all this merchandise moved to the United States, in 2007, this transportation accounted for 1 billion metric tons of carbon dioxide put into the atmosphere, and it used 11 billion gallons of fuel just to import merchandise into the United States. Local farmers, in contrast, only use fuel to harvest and then get to that market. Buying local also slows down the urban sprawl and keeps that farmland working. So this is how it's better for the environment. Finally, how is buying local better in creating jobs? According to elocal.com, on average, when a Walmart store is moved into a county, that county will lose 150 jobs. It's kind of a big shift. You know, Walmart comes in and they'll create 300 jobs, but in the long run, the county loses 150 because of the businesses that close down. The writers of Reclaim Democracy state that the sales of the 500 largest companies in the world has grown 700% in the last 20 years. But these same companies are now net disemployers, which means they're actually firing more people than they are hiring. So the jobs that they said that they were going to create whenever they came in are now going away, and they're getting rid of them. And this is all while these companies are still having record profits. Michael Schumann, again, in a speech he gave to the Community Land Trust of the Southern Berkshires annual meeting, gave an example how local businesses are creating jobs. It was a company in Herkimer, New York. It was the Library Bureau, and the Library Bureau wanted to have 22% increases on the rate of return on their merchandise, and they were not getting this, so they were going to close the doors. Well, the workforce and the politicians of this local community went to Sperry Rand, who is the parent company of the Library Bureau, and they negotiated it, and they purchased the company along with federal funds, and they were able to keep the business open for another 10 years and had a 17% rate of return, which just proves that local residents would be happy with a 1% rate of return, but big businesses want that huge rate of return. In conclusion, I want to remind you that buying local has many benefits. Today I gave you some facts about buying local, how it boosts the economy, is better for the environment, and it creates jobs. As I stated, I feel unqualified to speak to you about this because I co-owned a local business, and I also have done extensive research on how buying local keeps money in the community. We all spend money, but next time you walk into Walmart or Target, think to yourself, can I get this closer to my house and my local community? Local businesses have everything you need, and if they don't have it, they'll help you find it. You might spend a little bit more to buy it locally from one of your local merchants, but in the long run you'll actually save money because you won't be spending as much gas. So when local businesses and communities come together and build a park or they have an event, don't be shocked. You helped pay for the parks by buying locally, so in turn you're actually being given $70. It just might be within a park or it might be an event. So don't be shocked that buying local benefits you every day.